This is Travel Tuesdays. Every Tuesday we present you with another incredible country. Today we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about Amsterdam. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get informed. Hello Aluxers and welcome back to our channel. We're so happy to have you here with us again today. Today we're going to talk about the beautiful city of Amsterdam. Originally, Amsterdam was founded as a fishing village. It was created around the dam of the Amstel River. The first time the name Amsterdam, at one point Amsterdam, appears is in records dating back to 1275. Amsterdam is the capital of the Netherlands and has a population of over 821,000 people. During the 17th century, the Netherlands made the perfect location for the shipbuilding industry. As a result, this opened up trade worldwide, and Amsterdam became a dominant financial epicenter and soon became the world's first stock exchange. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. But that's enough with the intro. Let's cut to the chase. Here are 15 things you didn't know about Amsterdam. Number 1. It's one of the most liberal cities in the world when it comes to sex and drugs. Everyone's heard about the legalization and recreational use of marijuana in Amsterdam. You can find cafes, bistros, and restaurants that serve the drug in just about every form imaginable. However, while marijuana is legal, most other drugs are regulated. They have addiction facilities with 2 sections strictly for heroin addicts. There are people that receive routine care and in some circumstances receive medicinal heroin, with firm restrictions of course. There's also facilities that cater to the high-risk and closet homosexuals to get free STD care. These facilities focus on non-judgmental approaches, making people feel comfortable. Even the homeless and prostitutes receive house calls by traveling doctors. There's no limit on the free care, and it's available no matter what the budget is. Even hepatitis C patients get free treatments. Number 2. The Dutch have blazed a path in cybersecurity. With the rapid growth and use of technology, it's important to keep your information secure. Amsterdam, and really the Netherlands as a whole, is one of the most plugged-in countries in the world. 98% of Dutch homes have internet access. This is higher than the European average of 87%. In 1979, CDs were invented by Philips in the Netherlands. Then, what would happen 20 years later would catapult technology into the future with the invention of Wi-Fi. Over 70% of Dutch innovations are IT-related, and the Netherlands is home to some of the biggest IT corporations in the world, such as Microsoft, IBM, and Google. They currently have the largest security systems in Europe. In fact, cybersecurity from the Netherlands has been dubbed as the latest Dutch export. Number 3. They have more canals than Venice, Italy. Venice isn't the only place you can take enchanting gondola rides. Amsterdam has 165 canals that have a combined length of 60 miles. Because of the swampy land, several houses have been built on stilts. However, due to the condition of the soil, the stilts soon sank into the ground. As a result, many of those houses are crooked. These houses lining the canals are called dancing houses because they still sway. Amsterdam has 1,281 bridges connecting these canals. That's 872 more bridges than the city of Venice. There's over 2,500 houseboats lining the canals as well. Well, some of these boats are residences. Some of them are part of hotels or vacation rentals. There's even a houseboat museum for those of you who are curious about floating structures. Number 4. The shipping industry started it all. The Netherlands is a poor country in terms of natural resources. However, what they lack in natural resources, they quickly make up for in other areas. During the 12th century, the small town of Amstel began as a fishing village. However, to keep the tiny village from flooding, a dam was built on the Amstel River. This quickly opened the door for exports and imports. By the 17th century, Amsterdam had become one of the most important ports in the world, a direct result of creating developments in trade. There are many exports that travel through Amsterdam's ports. $93.5 billion of Amsterdam's exports come from machinery, more specifically computers. This makes up approximately 14.3% of exports. Electrical machinery and equipment is the second highest, bringing in $87.4 billion, and mineral fuels coming in third, making up $80.3 billion. Number 5. Amsterdam is the most expensive city in Europe to stay in. While the tourist industry is booming in Amsterdam, the bustling city has become known to be the most expensive place to stay. There are currently 466 hotels in Amsterdam, with an additional 220 within the city's metropolitan area. On average, a night in a hotel will cost $225. If you're looking for the top-of-the-line luxury suites, then look no further. While there are dozens of top suites to choose from, the most luxurious and expensive goes to the Imperial Suite at the Okura Hotel. This stunning suite holds the record for being the largest hotel suite in Amsterdam, taking up not only the 17th floor but the 18th as well. It's over 5,000 square feet. It has all the private accommodations that one could dream of, and more. This massive suite also has a private movie cinema, so you can kind of guess why it's the most expensive. Guests can stay here in the Imperial Suite for a cool $14,600 per night. Number 6. Amsterdam is no stranger to strife. As with most cities, there's a period at some point in their history where it falters. Amsterdam is no exception. During the beginning of the 16th century, the community of Anabaptist Mennonite began to form. The tension continued to climb until 1534, when a rebellion took place. As a result, Charles V ordered persecution of all members of the Mennonite community. Within a period of 2 years, the Amsterdam authorities condemned 71 members to death, while banishing several others. The eradication of the Mennonites would continue until the 1550s. The second half of the 16th century was no better. An uprising began due to the lack of political power with the local nobles and religious conflict between the Protestants as well as the Catholics. Amsterdam started the war on the side of the crown. However, in 1578, it switched to the other side. This would lead to a war that would last 80 years. Number 7. Amsterdam is no exception when it comes to scandal. It would be a scandal that would shake Europe for years. In 2010, a scandal revolving around a man known as Robert Michelson came to light. Through investigations that would eventually lead to his arrest, Michelson was accused of sexually assaulting 83 young children, the youngest being only 19 days old. Due to privacy issues and concerns for the parents, Michelson was only charged with 67 counts of physical abuse, as well as being in possession of child pornography, recording the heinous acts himself. After authorities obtained Michelson's computer, a worldwide investigation was launched, and it led to the arrest of 43 other suspected child sexual predators. Number 8. Many people moonlight as hookers. Amsterdam is one of the most visited cities in the world, and why wouldn't it be? There's breathtaking scenery as well as museums and endless shopping. However, one of the most visited places in Amsterdam is the famed red light district. In Amsterdam, prostitution has been around since 1602. People from all walks of life visit the red light district all year round. There's a total of 700 prostitutes throughout the city employed by day, and over 200,000 prostitutes visiting per year. Being a prostitute in the red light district is most often just a night job. In fact, some prostitutes have normal 9-to-5 jobs. Such was the case for the famed Conchita van der Wal. Conchita was the character name of an employee at the Dutch Central Bank. She gave herself the name because she moonlighted as a dominatrix during the night at the red light district. She charged from $530 an hour to almost $5,000 per weekend. Wall's employment was terminated at the bank that she worked for when her bosses discovered the other job. However, the bank claimed she wasn't fired due to her other job. She was fired for violating the bank's code of conduct. The code of conduct stated that Wall was supposed to inform her superiors of the freelance jobs. By not doing so, she left herself vulnerable to blackmail. While sex work in Amsterdam is 100% legal, the idea of doing it is still a bit taboo. Number 9. There are tours of Amsterdam with retired sex workers. In a city of over 5,600 prostitutes, there's going to be sex workers by the handfuls. Martine and Louise Fokken are among the oldest prostitutes in the city. At 74 years old, the twin sisters have pleasured an estimated 355,000 men while raising families of their own. How many is 355,000 men? Well, it's greater than the population of Iceland. However, time did take its toll on the sisters, and eventually Louise was the first to retire after 50 years due to severe arthritis. Louise was forced into prostitution when her junkie husband refused to work. But at the age of 70, Sister Martine still worked on one of the street corners. Now, the sisters are giving tours of the city, including the red light district, and revealing what it was really like to be a sex worker for over half a century. They were also responsible for creating the first independent union for prostitutes. Number 10. Fine dining is at its finest in this bustling city. One of the most sophisticated restaurants in Amsterdam is the Duchess. This decadent restaurant incorporates refined flavors from countries such as Italy and France. The central focal point of this posh eating establishment is the custom-made Molteni kitchen, glittering chandeliers dangling from the vaulted ceilings, causing prisms of light to dance on the walls. Dinner is served by the romantic glow of candlelight. Every month, their menu changes, bringing variety and new tastes to their doors. You can share hors d'oeuvres with your loved one, sip the finest of wines during your meal, and then finish it all off with the most decadent desserts in the country. The average a la carte price, based on a 2-course meal alone, typically begins at $106, and that's not including the wine. If you'd like to know more about the most expensive wines in the world, click in the upper right-hand corner to check out our dedicated video. Number 11. Amsterdam has some of the most exclusive stores in Europe. If you're taking a luxury-filled trip, staying at the finest hotels and eating at the finest restaurants, then why not shop at the most exclusive stores Amsterdam has to offer? There are dozens of private boutiques tucked away quietly in Amsterdam's 9 streets. These streets are a network intersected by canals. It's the perfect place to find high-end fashion, precious antiques, vintage stores, and expensive jewelry. Amsterdam is a city that loves to look good, so it comes as no surprise that you can surround yourself with designer items from across the globe. Some of these brands include Jimmy Choo, Prada, Dior, Louis Vuitton, and Chanel. These brands, along with many others, can be found in the luxury shopping district, PC Hoofdstraat. From designer diamonds to designer shoes, Amsterdam's luxury shopping district has it all, including new designers that are crashing onto the fashion scene. Number 12. They aren't as lawless as they appear. While this beautiful city has some of the most liberal views on sex and drugs in the world, that doesn't mean they're a lawless, hedonistic community. While they are considered to be the least safe city in the Netherlands, they remain as one of the most popular destinations. As a result, the mayor of the city says they are in need of more police officers and street wardens to continue to keep the city safe. There are a number of burglaries, up 4% over the previous years, with numbers over 4,400. While car thefts and burglaries are up, there are other crimes that have fallen, like pickpocketing, which was down 17.5%, and street robberies was down by 10.3%. The mayor is petitioning the justice minister to allow for an increase of police operating in the red light district. During high tourist times in the RDL, the streets are congested, making it almost impossible for officers to pursue anyone that might be a criminal. Right-wing political parties are pushing hard for more pervasive tactics, such as pepper spray and batons, while the left wing is strictly opposed to doing so. Number 13. They are the most powerful city in the Netherlands. The Port of Amsterdam is the second largest port in the Netherlands. It's also a multinational port that handles everything from storing, shipping, and handling products from coal to paper and oil and cocoa beans. It has handled more than 81.3 million tons of cargo in 2017 alone. The port also brought in an estimated $86.6 million. This made room for more businesses to blossom in the port. Businesses like bioenergy and chaincraft, which are adding to their goal of being a completely coal-free port by the year 2030. The port accommodates all manners of vessels, including cruise ships. In 2017, the port was visited by 134 cruise ships with over 400,000 passengers. If the rate of tourism continues to grow, then by the year 2023, they could see an influx of 250 cruise calls per year. Number 14. Amsterdam has a hopping nightlife, and not just in the red light district. You don't have to visit the red light district to experience some of the best nightlife the world has to offer. There are clubs, old and new, bringing a whole new meaning to partying the night away. Amongst the new clubs jumping onto the night scene is the club Shelter. It's one of the newest establishments in the city and is quickly making a name for itself. In 2016, the club opened in the basement of Shell Tower. Partygoers standing in front of the entrance get led into a literal underground party. On party nights, the front hatch opens to a flight of stairs that take you down into a massive concrete room. The club has a 24-hour permit that allows the party to go on non-stop from sunup to sunup. It's rapidly climbing the charts and becoming one of the hottest places in the city. Number 15. Amsterdam isn't just about partying and shopping. Some of the world's most notable inventions came from the Amsterdam region and the surrounding cities. The first submarine was constructed in the 1620s by a man named Cornelius Drebbel. Drebbel worked for the English Royal Navy at the time. Once the submarine was functioning, it was tested in the Thames. The vessel was put together by a wooden frame and stretched greased leather to ward off the frigid waters. And Aluxers, that's a wrap on Amsterdam. What's the first thing you would do while traveling to Amsterdam? Let us know down in the comments. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.